Now we've got our grids and our levels in position here. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to position a pad. Now there are many different ways that you can arrange the column to come down onto its supporting structure. Okay, all sorts of pads, column pads, ground beams, floating floors, all sorts of things like that. Okay, for my solution, I'm going to use a pad, and this is the one I'm going to use. Okay, now I'll give you this as a family. I'll pop it up on the Engage community there. And what I've got here is, obviously this is the concrete pad here, and that would be had reinforcement in it that'll come up through this kind of a concrete in situ cast column. So this is all poured as one, and you can see that I've got a steel plate here with the holes in it that will be bolted down into this pad here. And the addition I've made to this one is that I've added in a thermal break. So there are materials out there now that are structural materials that allow you to provide a thermal break between the steel and the concrete here. Very useful, I think, without a doubt. This concrete pad foundation has some very good kind of parameters in it that allow us to make the actual pad wider, the column part of it higher, and things like that. So it's quite useful in that sense. All right. Now I've loaded that into the project, and I'm back into my ground level here. So I'm going to position that one first. That's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to take my PDF, okay, and I'm going to just hide it for the moment, because what I'm interested in is the intersection points of the grids here. So I'm going over to my structure and isolate it. Okay, so it's because I've used this, it's already on my cursor here. Now you're going to find this with a lot of structural elements, so watch. Notice that the cursor is at the center point of the whole unit here. And what it's going to do is going to search for an intersection of grids, like so. All right, and if I bring this one over here, see that? Intersection of grids. Now what I need to check is what level this is coming in at. So I'm going over to, say, something like an east elevation. Now it's come above the ground level, and I don't want that. Okay, so there's a couple of ways I can do this. I can select it, and you can see that there's a height offset from what is that? Height offset from the level. All right. So I can go in and measure this now, and so if I wanted to get it right up to the top, if I wanted that top plate level with maybe a screed or something like that, you can see it. It's 558, basically 558. All right. So if I select this and I put in a minus 558, it'll go into position. That's the other one, and we'll do a minus 558 there as well. Okay, now that it's coming in level with the ground floor plan. Now, if you can imagine, we're going to have a floor element that's going to come in here as well, and we will be able to wrap up some insulation in around here too. And whether the screed comes over as far as this point here or not, that is yet to be decided as to exactly how we're going to go about that. Now, so that is how I would get this pad in place here. And again, if I needed a bit more room here, what I can do is go in there, and there should, within the type properties here, is it? Or it's going to be the instance properties. Okay, so we've got some type properties here. That's the pad size, the footing thickness. So that all relates to the bottom part here. And I've got some instance properties here that allow me to see the pier depth. That's the 500. That's from that point to that point, so I could move that if I wanted to make it a bit more room there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to I want to be able to see these. All right, so I'm going to go into the view range here, and the easiest way to do that is just to go unlimited there, and we can see them now at that point. Right, I'm going to put a column now on top of this, so I'm in the structure tab, going into column here, making sure it's a vertical column. I'm going to go into load family, and into the UK library, all the way down to structural columns, all the way into steel, into the British Standard. There's the one that I use, and there's my universal column, simplest one to use. Open it, you get a little chart here, and you can load various different ones in. So there's a 254 by 254 by 73. I might use that one. All right, and you can see now again, look where it's come in. It's at the end of my cursor here, and again, if I go over, I think if I hit space bar here, yeah, if I hit space bar, it'll turn around for me. Okay, and I'm just going to place that again on the intersection here. Now let's go back and see where this has come in, because very often this comes in at an unusual spot here. All right, it's over the other side there, east. Let's do the west elevation and see. Okay, so there, now you can see that the column has pushed the pad down here, right? Because if I select that column, go into the properties over here, you can see that it starts at the top of the fountain and goes to the ground floor level. All right, so we want to change that straight away. We want to go to the roof level, and we want this to start at the ground floor level. And it says it's going to move it and whatever else, and we go bang up. Now that's what we were looking for there. All right, let's go back into here, and I'm going to delete that one now. I'm going to select this and go in and hit my control and select the column as well. I'm going to copy, and again on the intersection point. Now I'll just run through and I'll get all of these into position around here. So there's a little bit of working out to be done in terms of the height, the location height that you're going to put your columns into, and my main concern is kind of the thermal break, particularly in a building like this that is kind of an office where we're going to have kind of an enclosed space, and with a little bit of forethought you can avoid those kind of thermal breaks by doing that. Now let's go into a 3D here, take a look at that. Now and this is a typical situation that evolves in Revit. You're going, what the hell? Revit will revert back to down here, right, into your detail level, and Revit loves to revert back to a coarse level. So don't panic if you put a beam or a column in, you can't see it. That's the first thing that you check is the detail level. Go into Find, and we got it there. Now there's all my columns up and into position there.